now. Awesome. So let's get started buying off plan in Dubai. My name is Michelle Raymond. I'm a property investor in the UK and also in the UAE. I'm a leadership trainer and coach. That's what I'm mainly known for. And I'm a public speaker. And I'm so honored to have you here today with us. You'll be joined today by my husband, Peter Suxarkhorn, who's also a property investor. He's back. I've put software here, software performance coach. He's much more than that, but the title and what he does is so long and so complex. So I've just kept it to software performance coach. So some of you might have seen some of my promotion around Dubai. So I travel back and forth to Dubai quite often, and I've got to understand the market, what they're looking for in terms of investors, some of the off-plan properties, some of the buy to rent. So today's webinar is mainly on off plan, and we're going to be doing another one on buy to rent. But what we want you to do, if you've got any questions, please do put them in the comments. If you're watching the replay, you can send me an email. I will share my direct email address, so you can just email me directly. So this is the team: Peter, myself, and Sam. So Sam is based out in Dubai. He has all the links, all the leads go to him. And then amongst us, we find the best leads that we share with people like yourselves. And I share this image because I want to show you that Dubai is not just a place to holiday, it's also a lifestyle. I go there because I do work, I do my leadership training, I do public speaking out there. There is so much opportunities out there, and I don't want anyone to miss anything. So property is just one aspect of Dubai, but there's so much more that you can be a part of. But right now, you might be in a situation where you've got some money set aside, but it's depreciating, definitely in the UK because of inflation and the cost of living crisis. Or you might be here because you've seen some ads somewhere and there's loads of ads. I'm not even just talking about my ads, loads of ads, and you're thinking, oh, actually Dubai might be a place that I can invest in. Then you're definitely in the right place, but you're not sure of how to do it. So this is the perfect place to be. What we want to do is take you from someone who's unsure, don't know what to do with their money, where to get the best returns, to a successful investor where you can get a minimum of 20%, a minimum of 20% return on investment, up to 50%. We're going to show you how to do that. And you may want to expand probably, Michelle, expand your property portfolio. You may have invested in the UK and you want to expand into Dubai. We have properties in Dubai. We have properties in Greece. We have in the USA as well. But we're just focusing on Dubai. And probably you want to leave some generational wealth for your children or for your loved ones. I know I'm doing this for my daughter and for my daughter's children and their children as well. So what does that look like in practice? Just imagine if you had enough money for yourself, but also for your loved ones. And if you were flying to Dubai and you wanted somewhere to stay, you can stay in your own property. When you're not there, you can rent it as a holiday home. All of that we will cover for you. And so that you can have the lifestyle that you deserve for your family, for your friends, for yourself. That's why we're all here. And it all starts with you asking the right questions, getting educated and informed to learn more about investing in Dubai. That's what today is about. So I'm going to stop sharing right now, and I am going to pass over to Peter, who is going to give you some more information about some of the properties that we have available, and then you can take it from there, ask any questions you like. Peter, are you there?
I am here.
Awesome, awesome. And we can hear you loud and clear. You might need to amplify your voice a bit more.
Really?
Yep, brilliant.
I normally have a loud voice, so it should be okay.
So I will leave you to it.
All right, I shall start. Welcome, everybody. As I say, my name is Peter, for those who don't know me, and I'm Michelle's husband, but I'm also her partner as well in this three-way sort of partnership. Just gonna add Claire. I see Claire's on it. Are you gonna be my assistant, Michelle? Okay, all right. Lip read say yes. Right. So let me get started. So this is the main crux of the presentation, and I've got a little Dubai framework. It's called Dubai, just to make it easy. So I'm gonna start with. Let me see what's taking note. Okay. So destination. So Michelle already alluded to a lot of it about Dubai as well, but I'm going to just give a little bit more as to why invest in Dubai. So it's ranked as one of the safest and happiest cities in the world. I think Toronto might be up there, or Vancouver might be up there as number one, but Dubai has now moved into the top 5 of being one of those safest cities and happiest set of peoples in there that live there. Another areas is the fastest growing economy in the region. So, around UAE, it's growing faster than Abu Dhabi, which is a lot more. Okay, it's been there a lot longer. It's capital UAE, but then you've got other areas like in Qatar, etc. But Dubai is the fastest growing. Next one is the one I love most. It's tax-free income. So if you ever want to go live there, or the people there, they have tax-free income. Basically, no national insurance, no income tax. Lovely. Next one is they do have a world-class infrastructure. So one thing I can tell you is that they are constantly building. They've got the longest road there, tallest building. They've got the biggest kind of Palm Jumeirah beach property front, etc. And they're still growing, building new infrastructure, growing outwards. Next one is that booming tourist market. Speaks for itself. Lots of opportunity for those expats, like people who want to go over and live in Dubai. Lots of job opportunities. The area is considered very safe, and it's lots of positive, and for those who want to live there, that kind of favors their lifestyle over there. Last one, it's the market over there, the property market over there is regulated by the Dubai government. There's something that I will talk a bit further in the section under A, assurances, just to give you some of the laws around the assurances from how the Dubai government look over the property market over there. Right. So next one is understand. So what do I mean by understand? I want you all to understand that how you see the UK market, the property market, is not how it is in Dubai. There are elements of it that have some similarities that you will recognize. But one of the things I will tell you is that they move a lot faster in Dubai. And it's not because they're, how can I say, it's because they're trying to rush things over. I think that the UK have a lot of regulations, a lot of things that have been set up, some probably inefficient processes that they've left behind and not dealt with. And Dubai is, as I say, is a new market, but it's governed by the Dubai government. So, as I said, the market over there does move a lot faster. And in this presentation, I'll be talking about off-plan, and I'll go into more detail about that, and the fact that the off-plan market moves even faster than the buy-to-rent market. The buy-to-rent market will mean that the property is already built, or sometimes they call it ready. All our properties that we deal with on off-plan are freehold. So you own the land, and it's freehold. It's not lease whatsoever. 80% of the property in Dubai is freehold. The only things that we deal with is freehold. So there are leasehold people do it, but we don't. Next one is just want to say non-residents can get mortgages. So it goes through a process. Similar to they do certain checks, you have to prove your income, similar to the UK, a little bit faster. Normally takes about 2.5 months to approve, but it will go through an approved Dubai or UAE bank. Next one. So this is the one, investing in off-plan opportunities. So one of the things about this presentation is that I will be talking about off-plan only. So what does off-plan mean? So off-plan basically means you are investing into a property that hasn't been built yet. it isn't in construction. Sometimes it could have started construction. At most, it might be like the land's been landscaped, but the property has not been built. You are investing at the earliest point. Now, in the UK, you can do this. There's also off-plan in UK. It's not as common, but in Dubai, this off-plan is a much more common thing as it's a growing city. Okay. Right. Let me give you 5 reasons to buy off-plan. So the first one, when you buy off-plan, seeing that it's not built, you're coming in at a lower price. You also have more payment option. But in terms of pricing, if you were to buy when the property is already built, I can guarantee you that you will probably pay anywhere up to 40 to 50% more than the off-plan price, depending on the length of the build itself. The other aspect is payment options. So with off-plan, as an investor, you are dealing with the developer themselves. The agent itself, like myself and Michelle, we are in between that helps the process, provides information, holds your hand through the process. But overall, you are dealing with the developer in the sense of the payment will go to the developer. I'll talk a bit more about that in assurances and how that works. But in terms of payment options, don't look at it like mortgages. It's nothing to do with mortgages. What it is that you'll pay a deposit, and it's likely you have different payment options. Some developers might choose to have 10%, 20%, 30% deposit options. Therefore, and then thereafter, they will ask you to pay monthly, either monthly or quarterly, or some might even ask you to pay different percentages. So, for instance, there's a developer called the Mac that we work with. Their standard payment plan is 24% deposit, and every quarter you would then pay them 5%. We've got another developer called Tiger who tends to ask for 10% deposit, and therefore thereafter you pay 1% a month every month rather than quarter. So there are different payment plans, and of course there is wiggle room for you to change those payment plans if you want something slightly different to accommodate your needs. However, we've got Bernice enter a second. So the other one is higher capital gains. You also hear the term capital appreciation. That's the term I tend to use. Basically, when you invest in off-plan, you'll find that the value of the property is appreciating. So this is where Michelle was talking about, if you invest, you can get a minimum of 20%, normally like after at least a year or 8 months to a year. And if you wish to sell it, again, I'll talk a bit more about that in depth in the investment section of this framework. The other one is higher rental yields. Yes, if you buy off-plan, what it is that when the property is built, and in some cases you can extend the payment plan, is what we call post-handover. So in other words, the property is built, you can then start to rent out your property and at the same time use that rent to pay off your payment plan. The rental yields are high because there's just a lot of people moving to Dubai, and normally the type of people are big professionals, or either professionals or high earning entrepreneurs, etc. And also you also have the local residents who live very well because they are looked after by the government very well. Again, that's why the rental yields can be quite high. There are a wide range of off-plan projects. If I'm correct, there are currently, I think, on top of my head, anywhere between, at the moment, 31 off-plan projects sitting there, lands being prepped, cordoned off, security, architectural diagrams been put in place. I think there's about 31 that are currently in our inventory, so that haven't been built, but opportunities are there. So that's kind of like shows to you how fast it's moving and how profitable this market is. The other factor for buy and off plan is that the property laws in Dubai that basically protect the investors and buyers. So the property laws here are governed by the Dubai Land Department and also another sector of the Dubai government as well. In fact, a few of the developers are partly owned by the Dubai government. Now, buying off plan, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, there's a risk. How can I buy something that hasn't been built yet? So one of the things is that they value the property market, the reputation of it highly. Therefore, the government will come down hard if there's any dodgy dealings or any cowboy kind of like, think of it, services. So that there are many governance that doesn't detract from the speed of the sale as well. Okay. By the way, Michelle, I don't know if you can hear me. I can't see if there's any chat, so do tell me if there's any questions.
Yeah, will do.
Yeah.
And that's a reminder, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put in the chat, and we will definitely come back to your questions.
So one of the things is that in the next section, which is part of the framework, which I'm not too sure why it's being, it's in the breakdown. So I also want to use the opportunity, if you want to come on and ask a question, please do so, or raise your hand, just ask me. I'd be happy if we could take 2 or 3 questions during my presentation. I don't want to just go through it. I want also you to be on the same page as me, hopefully that we don't have too many questions at the end and that we have a understanding. So the next section is breakdown. So what's breakdown? So I'm going to break down some of the off-plan deals that we have going. I've picked 3 out of the 30, one being the lowest one currently, it's called Cloud Tower. Santorini is a nice one, the kind of like low to mid, and then Sobar is a bit more luxurious. So going to move on to that. So the first one is called Cloud Tower. One of my favorite developer, Tiger. They are a tier 2, so they're not at the super high end, unlike somebody called the Mac, Ema, or Sobar. But Nobles is a lot more, how can I say, for those investors who are coming new to the market, their risk is lower and the outlay is the lowest that we have in our portfolio. So as you can see, this is Cloud Tower. Let's say there's 447 residential units, and this breakdown is based on a 1-bedroom apartment. So when I say prices from 143,000, that's the lowest price for a 1-bedroom apartment. Of course, it goes on to easily into the millions for like the 4-bedroom duplex higher up, for those who don't have vertigo, I guess. And take a note that the prices here, I always put approximately because of the currency exchange rate. It always changes. The other factor you've got to take into consideration is also that all our prices come in dirhams. So that's the UAE, it's called dirhams. And so therefore I'm converting. It's always not always, it's always changing, fluctuating. So it's a lovely property. As I said, I've got pictures here of how the bedrooms, the pool areas. All these properties will have a pool area. You'll find that they're located in really good areas. And this particular one is Jumeirah Village Triangle. So where this one is, it's basically off the Palm, not too far from the Palm. So it's really located in a really good space. And it's, for the price you're paying, it's a great investment for anyone who wants to start, and the level of risk is quite low. So for Cloud Tower, the deposit on this is 10%. This will get you in the door, hold the property, and get you started. So in this case, there was 143,000. Deposit is 14,300 for you to start, approximately. They've said the payment plan is over 4 years, so that is roughly, I think, is 48 months. So therefore, approximately £1,287 per month. And that is paid into an escrow account. Again, I will talk a bit more about that in the assurance section, into the escrow account of the Dubai Bank for Tiger developers. Now, bear in mind, one of the assurances that you have is that when you pay into an escrow account, the developer cannot get a hold of the money until they prove to the Dubai Land Department that they have constructed a certain percentage. It's normally around 44%. Some projects require the property to be complete before they even hand over any part of the money. But normally the developer will ask for the money to help them for marketing. Normally the top people don't ask for it until they've completed it. So there's another layer of assurance and protection for you as an investor. Any questions, anyone? I don't see anything from you, Michelle.
There's one question. I've answered Claire's early question. She's just put another one in here.
Okay.
If it's investing in an apartment, how can it be a freehold and not a leasehold?
Okay. So yeah, when I first got into this market and had a similar sort of question I threw out, because it's kind of like, because I've got a flat in Stratford and it's a leasehold. So it's the land area. You're having a freehold or percentage of the land, because when you're buying a freehold, it's the value of the land that's going appreciating. But yeah, because it's a share of the land. Does that make sense?
Thanks, Peter. Claire, let us know in the chat whether that's answered your question. Brilliant. Pete, please continue.
So most of Tiger's properties have like extra amenities. They have good amenities. I say it's a medium to luxurious sort of like background and setting. They have a 250-meter running track, gym, outdoor swimming pool, barbecue area, basketball court. And here's another thing. It comes fully furnished in the sense that a bed is there, a nice bed, sofa, furnishings like tables, curtains, etc. What it doesn't come with is electrical goods. So bring your own TV. Okay, anything electrical is not included. So once this is delivered, the delivery date on this is December 2025, which you will get the keys and it will come fully furnished. Now, one of the things is sometimes during the development, they may say that we are actually ahead of schedule. It's been known on many occasions that the developers deliver ahead of schedule. If that is the case, then this is what I talked about before in regard to post handover. When the developer offers a post handover, is a brilliant situation for you to be in. The reason being is that you are then getting the development early, so that then you can then start to rent it out and hopefully pay for your payment plan. So here's an example. So we've got a property in Dubai. We rent it out. I think it's we've got a 2-bedroom flat in, I think, Damac Hills. We get £3,300 every month for it, and that pays for part of our investment, so our post handover. That post handover is now over, so we should now get the money, and we just use that to pay off, well, kind of shared between ourselves, myself, Michelle, and Sam. Just to give you an idea what post handover is. Any questions there? I will talk a bit more in the investment section on post handover, so I will reiterate that a bit more.
Also, no questions at the moment, so yeah, feel free to continue.
Just want to say, this is a good entry level for people with this budget range. And I'm going to say this now. It's a great one. The properties here sell fast. I'm not trying to create an air of like, oh, you must buy now, because I honestly will tell you this now. When me and Michelle started, we had something called the Damac Lagoons, which is a mid to higher range. There is 90% sold, and we only started back in in the summer last year. There's literally I think over 500 properties, 90% done, only the high range ones. So those are like anywhere between 1 million to about £4 million left. Maybe one day, Michelle, hey? Let's move on. Right.
Yes,
so
one day.
One day, hey?
One day soon.
So the next one is another developer called Samana. Again, they are on the same tier as Tiger, similar in the term of like delivery of the quality and luxury. So they are tier 2, and their prices start from 166,000 to 166,200,000 approximately, and their this current property here is called Santorini. It's basically they're trying to build the lifestyle, the Santorini lifestyle, flats and apartments based on Greece, and they bring that to Dubai. As you can see, the picture here has got the blue dome and the white thing. If that's your sort of thing, then this is a lovely, nice little investment. Now, this particular developer asks for 20% deposit. That would be around £33,240 approximately. They're asking 1% per month of the balance. So that'd be about 55 months that you pay every month. Now, this particular property, a lot of the properties and apartments, even the studios, you either have a plunge pool or a private pool. So you have the outdoor pool and you have the indoor pool for the not public, for the, you call it for everybody to share, but you also have a small little plunge pool or swimming pool for yourself on your balcony. Now, there's a health club and there's a kids playing area. In terms of like, is it come fully furnished? No, it doesn't. And it's also going to be delivered in April 2025. Currently, there is no post handover agreement on this one, but from what I know and from their track record, they tend to finish quite early, so you may get the post handover earlier. Okay. Right. The next one is this one here. I like this one here for a number of reasons. It's by Soba, one of the top 3 developers in Dubai. They're so big that they've got their own metro station named after them. And this particular development, I do like it because where it's located. It's located in a place where the view is fantastic. I've actually been to see the construction site of the land that they were scraping, and it'll be like you'll oversee wildlife sanctuary, golf course, and a brilliant view of the Burj Khalifa. And it's not too far from all the main central points like Dubai Mall or Mall of Dubai, all those places, and the business bay as well. So this starts from 242,000 approximately. This price will be, when I say starting, it will be a 1-bedroom apartment, and I can guarantee you this will be an easy rental one, and probably you'll get a good high return on investment on your rental yield on this particular property. Only because I know that their fittings, how they do their fittings and everything, so they do go for the high end stuff as well. Now, with Soba, they ask for 10% deposit. So 10% here would be 24,000, 24,200, something like that. And the payment plan over this one is over 4 years. Again, that's 48 months. Let me just add some more people. And so that works out to be 4,537.50 approximately a month. Okay. So again, this is definitely at the going towards now moving from mid-range to kind of like moving to the higher range territory. The other developer that we normally like to deal with also is the Mac. They are on the same level here, but I didn't want to go over too many breakdowns because, as I said, I don't think this webinar would be able to cope with about 30 other off-site plans. But do get in contact with myself or Michelle, and we can go over a lot more in terms of what you want, in terms of also the area. One of the things about buying off-plan is what you have to look at is also where it's going to be located. Now, one of the things about developers like Soba and Mac is that when they build like this, it will be a community, where somebody like Tiger is much smaller, so it's normally like a block or 2. But here, this is literally, I mean, if I look at it, I think it's like 30 stories and some of them going up to 65 stories. And they have they will build a community, and normally they have an infrastructure. So like they sometimes build a school, they build supermarkets. Normally it's gated as well. These will be gated in this sense here. And so therefore maybe a leisure center, etc. So any questions, Michelle? I see some some chats here, some there, but
yeah, there's nothing. Let's have a double check. No, the last question was where are the best locations, but I've just put that in the chat. And for clarity, I put in Jumeirah Village, also known as JVC. Also put in Medan, Dubai Hills, Business Bay, and Jumeirah Village Triangle, also known as JVT. There's loads of other locations, great locations, but we're trying to keep within a budget that most of our target market can afford, because I can tell you that we have properties on the palm, but if you have a spare like £3 to £5 million spare, then you can afford it. But these ones that we've shown you, they're within most people's price budget and bracket, and they have properties ready to invest in. Hopefully that helps.
Off-plan properties to invest in. One of the things what I like about this one is they've got a number of these. I don't know if it's a fad or something, but in Dubai they're starting to produce a number of tower blocks and apartments or properties with built-in called like sky gardens or sky pools. So one of the things is that they're right, I think, on one of the Mac ones. This one here has a sky garden. I'm just looking at a picture bottom left. So what happens is like high up, like I don't know, 40 stories high, 50 stories high, normally either a swimming pool or a garden. So the view is amazing. I think we went to a few of these. It's quite breathtaking, actually. If you don't suffer from vertigo, it is brilliant, especially if you have those infinity pools as well. So normally they have the infinity pools on the sky, like a sky pool. So moving on. Assurances. So assurances is, I'm going to talk about what assurances do you have as an investor. So this is the one here. Is the Dubai has enacted the Real Estate Regulatory Authority. So that's the REIA, and also which I talked about before, the Dubai Land Department, DLD. This is to protect investors and developers against delays, cancellations, or fraud. So trust me, the Dubai government, if there's any dodgy dealings going on that affects Dubai, remember Dubai is the brand, and so they are really hard on anybody who would do anything dodgy in order to that will affect their brand. So the Dubai government will come down heavy on that, and there's also protection in terms of like in terms of money back from Dubai, but that's much deeper sense in the sense of the law, etc., that we can go into if you are more interested in that. The other part is the escrow. So escrow, when you buy a property off plan and you pay your deposit, it goes into what we call an escrow account. That escrow account is held by a DLD approved bank. So it's a Dubai government approved bank, and it sits there until the developer has proved they've built at least 44%. Normally it's 44% of the project, or in some cases they built 100% of the project. They have to prove that before they can touch the money. That's your protection, and this is one of the reasons why I love it, because you're not going to get gazumped in the UK. If you've ever heard of that term, you can get gazumped. You can start paying for stuff, solicitor's fee, surveyor's fee, and then somebody comes along with a better bid, and the agent says, "Oh, I'm sorry, the person selling is gone with that person." That doesn't happen. That sort of thing won't happen in Dubai. One of the things that I dislike about the UK property market here. So again, in the escrow account, it is protected by the DLD approved bank. The next one is, as I said, I just talked about developers cannot access full funds until the project is finished. That's slightly changed. They can access certain percentage if they can prove what they can use the money for and why they need it and where they are in the development. Again, it goes through quite a stringent process with the DLD. So that's assurances. Is there anything else? Any questions there on this?
Any question, guys? Let us know. Anything about how your money will be saved, when you can get it out, when any questions whatsoever, this is your opportunity. But in the meantime, Pete, feel free to proceed.
Okay. So one of the things I will want to definitely make sure you understand that when you're investing in Dubai in an off plan, the deal itself can take 15-20 minutes. It really is that quick, because you can do it all online. And as I said, the money will go into the escrow account, and you will get a sales documentation. But one of the things they don't, if you stop paying the payment plan, I don't want to add too much of a negative connotation to this, but it is about understanding the risk here. You've paid the deposit, and if then you, let's say you change of circumstances, you would need to notify us as the agent, as well as the developer, so that we can help you and get the property sold off to somebody else. So I'm going to talk about investment in a moment, on how you can do that and also make money from that. So I'm going to move on in my framework. Invest. So making money from your investment. Flip or flipping, I think you might have heard it if you've been to enough property seminars. You've probably heard it in the UK. But what this means is that you can sell your property during the construction or even after completion. Return on investments from 20 to 50%. So when you buy off plan, and let's say after 1 year, this is an example, I'm going to go break this down for you. After 1 year, you want to sell because your circumstances change, you no longer want to hold, you can do. And you're likely, your capital would have appreciated around 20%. That is the going trend at the present moment. If you wanted to wait until it's completed, you'll get more money. Your capital would have appreciated more, up to 50% in this case. You'll find that most people who enter at the completion rate pay at least 40% more than the off-plan people. So do bear that in mind. So I'm going to break this down. Please, what I've done here is I put the investment for 150,000, just so that is to make the explanation easy and the maths easy. So let's say you invest 150,000 on an off-plan property. Oh, why did and you put a 20% deposit down. That will cost you 30,000, leave you 150, leave your 120,000. And then in this case here, let's say that this particular developer wants you to pay 5% every quarter. Remember from when I told you about the understanding that different developers have different payment options, and there are wiggle room to be able to suit some of your needs. So in this case, this is the example. 20% deposit gets you in the door, gets you started, and then this particular developer will ask you for 5% every quarter of the remaining balance. So quarter one, 6,000, quarter two, 5,700, quarter three, 5,415, quarter four is 5,144, 25. And let's say right now, I want to sell, I want to flip it. I don't actually want to wait another 4 years to my money. I want to get my money. So total investment for the year is around 52,259.25 pence. Let's say your return of investment after 1 year is 20%. So your profit would be about 10,451.85. Your total money that should come back to you will be 62,711.10 pence. So unlike the other webinar I talked about, I thought I would break this down a little bit more. Of course, I could go through many different scenarios or different payment options, but this is a pretty simple one, pretty standard one for a number of developers like the Mac and Email. But again, Tiger, Samana, they do different. They may ask for a 10% deposit and pay 1% a month, or some may have a fixed monthly. But this is an example here for this webinar. Any questions on this? This is, please do. I mean, I do want you to understand this and also give feedback if I did not articulate this well enough, because I think this is key to understanding the off-plan market.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant breakdown. Having looked at it again, it's a very good breakdown, so you can see where your money will go. You can see how it's calculated. So actually, Claire, let's have a look. I don't understand how to calculate the quarter one, 5% of what? All right, so Peter, could you just re-explain how it's broken down, and remember as well, each time you pay, it's reducing the amount you're paying. So if you could just re-explain it for everybody.
Okay. One thing is quarter is every 3 months. I should maybe put that down. Thank you for your feedback on that, Claire. So when I say quarter, you pay 5% every 3 months. So there are 4 quarters in a year. That's how they work it. Some developers ask you to pay a month. Some developers ask you to pay a fixed term over a longer period, like 48 over, this is 4 years, and this is the fixed term. So in terms of if you look at the UK property market, you could say your mortgage is kind of fixed over a certain period, and it changes to a variable, or depends how you want to run it. But in this case here, this is a payment plan that is you're working with the developer. Remember, this is not a mortgage. There's no mortgage involved in off plan. I want to stipulate that this is if you have cash and you're paying the investors every 3 months. In this case, 6,000. The next 3 months you pay 5,700, and it goes down because it's off the 5% off the balance. Hope that makes sense. Try to keep it.
Yeah, Claire, let us know in the chat whether that makes sense. And there's another good question from Bernice. Let's just go back to the original question, Bernice. So Bernice had asked, is there a particular salary threshold you would have to meet? So as we know, like in England, we would have to so I would say no. So what I had done, I'd responded and just said, you'd have to pay each quarter. Then your slide came up, but effectively you just need to prove that you have the funds. So you don't
You don't even have to, Michelle, now.
Oh, we don't have to anymore. Okay,
let's go. Let me I'm going to cut you up there. Apologies, my darling.
Yeah, no problems. Go for it.
Hopefully you don't make me sleep on the sofa tonight. Anyway, on that note, remember, this is off plan, so there's no mortgages involved. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to pay. If you put £30,000 down in this case, then you just continue. Otherwise, you will be in risk of losing your money. Or well, in this case, that would be the worst case scenario. But you do not have to prove how much you earn. It's just this is the money you. If you are applying for a mortgage, then that takes a similar process in terms of yes, you have to prove how much you earn, can you support yourself, etc. In this case, this is like almost like a business deal. So therefore, there is no credit check in it, because if you don't keep up the payment, they will just take it off you and you lose your money. But worst case scenario, but as an agent, we wouldn't want you to do that. So you would tell us I'm kind of struggling here, or let's say my circumstances changing, I want to sell up early, and then we would then kick into gear, either go back to developer and say can we sell this onto somebody else? So let's say the property is 50% being constructed, or 50%. So that price, they will sell it to somebody else who's interested in the off plan, who anybody's interested, at a higher price, and you will get your money, and of course your whatever is your return on investment. If you decide to get out at quarter 2, of course your return on investment is lower. I would recommend that you stay in a year and then get out if you want to, because it's just that it's an easier practice and you get more for your money. It's okay.
Brilliant. So Claire, do you want to come off mute if that's helpful to you?
Sorry for asking what's a stupid question.
No such as stupid when there's money involved.
Well, exactly. I need to understand it. So I put in the chat, even though the property will be worth 150k when it's built, doing it this way, over a year, you've invested 52,000, and then you flip it before it's built or as it's built, you make an extra 10,000. So have you made 10,000 or have you made 62,000? Like how much?
You've made 10,000. So okay. One of the things, Claire, I noticed when you said when the property is built and you said that it's going to cost 150,000, that's incorrect. That's 150,000 is the price you're paying off plan at the beginning. When it's completed, it might be worth 300,000. Or it might, or in this case, let's say 75, let's say 50%. So add another 75,000. So that property might be worth 225,000 when it's completed.
Right. So you've still invested about 50,000.
That's right.
But you make 250. So you make about 200,000 if you wait till it's built.
Okay. Well, so if you've, let's
Sorry,
say,
I'm not very good at maths.
no, that's okay. That's okay. Let's say, because I only went for 1 year, because there's a scenario for 1 year. Let's say you invested and you paid for the whole property itself. Okay, you pay for the whole property itself, and to when it's completed, it's finished. You finish up paying £150,000. At that point, and you want to sell the property will be worth at least 50% more than the investment price. So you should be getting at least £225,000 back. That's why, isn't it? My maths. Half of 150 is 10. Am I got it right? I think so, yeah. Why do I feel like income? Am I, Michelle, just double checking that with my maths now.
Yes, you're correct.
Let me just sit there. I don't know why I'm been talking a lot, so therefore 150, 1, 2, 3. It's easy. Yeah, 75,000, right?
Yeah, you're right.
It's easy. All right, so Claire, does that make sense? So when you invest £150,000, by the time it's finished, it'll be worth at least 225,000.
Yeah.
If you decide to stay until it's finished.
So this Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, this is over a year.
Yeah.
But so what's the sort of state of the property build after that year? Like, what was your assumption with these figures? Like, was it finished, not finished? Are you flipping it off plan?
Okay. It really depends. If it's 1 year, I'll give you an example here. Some of the property delivery time is 2025. If it's 1 year, I'd say that the properties have started maybe like best guess is maybe the first 5 floors have been built, foundations have been laid in the year. Normally, by the time you're hitting like let's say year 3, then the fittings will go in, foundation is settled, and all the windows like be put in place. And by year 4, then all the electricals and everything comes in. That's roughly on what I've seen. Does that help? I mean, after 1 year, to be honest, the foundation will be laid, and then they'll probably just escape the land foundation and build the kind of probably the lift columns and etc. like that.
Okay, so if you're investing in a property that's in a really like tall building, really you wouldn't be able to start renting out and getting any money back.
That's correct.
Until, nobody's going to live there in the middle of a building site, are they?
That's correct. So what you're doing, going back to one of the things that I said, the 5 reasons why you buy into off plan is that you get the price at 150,000, whereas like if you were to get it in a completion rate, you'll be paying a minimum of 225,000. The other factor is that you're actually you're investing, and it's the capital is depreciating. Now, what I think that I will talk to you about when I talk to you here is post handover. In some property deals that it goes, so what it is they finish ahead of schedule and they give you like a post handover date. So if they said originally going to hand it in 2025 and they say, well, we've actually finished it in let's say June 2024, but your payment plan is still ongoing, and therefore you can then move somebody into and rent it out to pay off the final payment plan for you. That's what we kind of did with one of our properties. That's called post handover.
Awesome. Okay, so do you want to continue with the presentation, and we'll still get more questions? So keep the questions coming from whoever, it doesn't matter. Keep your questions coming. Go for it, Pete.
Okay. So just to ease Claire's kind of like thinking in this sense, and I understand where she's coming from. One of the things is that I know in the UK market, a lot of people buy a property and they want to rent it out straight away to pay for the mortgage. That's usually the model, and then they pay for the mortgage, and then obviously hopefully have a nice amount left over as like surplus or profit, you want to call it. In this case, because you invested in off plan, the property hasn't been built. It's all about capital appreciation. Right. The next part here, I'm dabbling a little bit into the rental yield side to give you a touch point. In another webinar, I will be talking only about the buy to rent market. So the buy to rent market works very differently from off plan, and it has a much more similarity to that of the UK. But in terms of like, once the property is built, you can look at property rental yields long term. So a long term one is somebody signing a 1 year or more contract, anywhere to 6 to 7% return of investment. If you want to do service accommodation, like Airbnb type or short lets, then your return on investment on that is 7 to 9%. We also do a service accommodation. So for instance here, if you're holding on to your investment and the investment is ready to be rented, and you want somebody to look after that, we will also do that. We have a service for that as well. Okay. And I just talked about the post handover as part of your payment plan. That's why I think if we make a bit of a hoo-ha and say, oh, look at this property, it's got a post handover as well, then yeah, that's something I always look for, because the good seller, especially if people want the building to be finished and they can start using the rental to pay for their final payment plans. That's something I always look for as well. I like that. Okay. And I think, Shell, that brings me to the end of my part. Any questions? I mean, I know we can take it to the end, but I think while it's fresh, if there's any question now, come on the mic, or you can.
Yeah. So if you, I think Claire's just put, I was just answering, but we might as well just answer it out publicly. So Claire asks, is it better then to invest nearer completion? So if you stop sharing, and then I can share, and you can answer that question for Claire. And I think Shakira had put a question in the chat as well. So if you could answer those questions, that'd be great.
So if you want to invest when it's partially constructed, that's fine. What it is, you just pay more. Because what happens is that you get, when you do off plan from the beginning, you're paying at the lowest possible price. But as they start to build, the price and the value of the land and the construction goes up and up. So let's say you do build it and it's nearly complete, I'd reckon you'll be paying at probably anywhere between 30 and 40% more than the original off plan price. So that's your level of I suppose risk that you want to take in this.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
So I take it it's a win-win situation all around, because if I buy it off plan at the early stage and I'm paying 150, because while I'm paying my monthly money, and let's say I come to a time when I can't afford to pay it, the money I pay would have been increased, so I would get my money back plus interest.
Okay, I suppose the word increase and interest is the same terminology in this sense here. So yes, so let's say after 1 year you don't want to do this anymore. You can just sell the property, and your property in this case would have been increased by your investment would have increased by 20%.
Would I have to sell it, or would the investors sell it for me?
No. So you are the investor. We as the agent, we will work, either get a private buyer or we will talk to the developer. It's most likely with the developer who will sell it for you, because they'll just say, look, no, or other agents. We will go to other agents and say, look, we've got this property. It's 40% constructed. It's been built 1 year. This is the price. And then they will buy it off you.
And if it's less than a year, let's say it's 6 months.
Yes, I don't particularly recommend it. That's why if you do plan into it, you want to plan into it about a year. 6 months circumstances do change. So yes, but personally, I think the return on investment isn't as good. You'll be looking at less than 20% return on investment.
But
But if you're happy with less return on investment, then
yeah, because the main thing is getting my money back. And if I get extra, I'm happy. So because I don't want to lose my initial money, that's the main thing.
Okay.
So if I stopped it anywhere along the process, so I guarantee getting my capital back. And yes, maybe I get something extra, but I can guarantee getting my capital back.
I'm going to add you here. When you say you will get your money back and your interest on your investment, because I can guarantee you the value of the property and the land will have gone up. It goes up faster than Dubai. One of the reasons why me and Michelle look into Dubai is because of the value of things that go and the property sell out fast.
Okay, so really I can't really lose in any case, put it that way, because I'd always get my money back. That's the guarantee.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. That sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Thank you for your question. Fantastic.
Yeah, great
Anyone
question.
else?
If you've got any other questions, please do ask away. Now we're at the top of the hour, so what I want to do literally is, when does this kick off? Babes, it kicks off whenever you are ready. Yeah, because, and one thing you've got to remember, the market out of Dubai moves very fast. We had a call with someone today who was interested in some of the off plan, but the ones that they want, they may be ready in about the property that he wanted. He said he will have the money probably in 8 months' time. I can guarantee you from now that that property that he wanted will not be there. So it moves quickly. So this is why I'm saying it starts whenever you want. We've got so many different properties. If you see something you like, let's inquire, let's get you the best deal, let's get you the best deposit, and we keep it moving. So you may see things you like now, like from today's webinar, and you think, oh, that looks interesting. If you know that in terms of you want to get your money together, which makes sense, you want to get everything together, and you'll have everything together in 6 months' time, then we keep in contact and we look again what's available in 6 months' time. There might be something exactly the same, something better. That's how the market works. So I just wanted to just reiterate that for you. Pete, did you want to share something before I
did want to say, so
go for it?
I would tell you we got the lowest I've seen property is about 120,000. Normally a studio apartment or 1 bedroom. They're the ones that move quite fast. The ones that sell a bit slower are anything above the £1 million range. But again, the between the 120 up to probably about the 350,000 range move a lot faster. People kind of want to get in there, less of a risk, I guess. But you have to think about, are you going to live there, or is this an investment? Remember, if it's an investment and you don't really care when the property is finished because you may want to flip after 2 years, fine. But if you want to live there, then that takes a little bit of a different type of thinking on how you want to do it, especially when you buy off plan. Most people buy off plan, either flip it, sell after 1 or 2 years, or they kind of like wait, let it complete and rent it out. So that's a holiday home as well. But those who tend to buy because I want to live it, you have to take a bit more, you have to plan more, because especially if you've got a family, so if I'm moving out 2 years time, when would this property be delivered? So that's the sort of thing you've got to think about.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, I just wanted to find out, can you put a 1 in the chat if it's been helpful? Have you learned something? Did you know something a bit further? Because our job here is to be very transparent about the things that other people are not saying. And when I mean other people, you might have seen like ads, from these big organizations selling Dubai. They don't tell you everything. And let me put my video is not even on. Sorry, guys. I'm talking and being animated and you can't see. It works in our favor to be wholly transparent. So all the questions you ask are brilliant, because then it gives us a chance to make sure that when we're putting together like a resource of all the frequently asked questions, then you've got access to that. And we want you to make informed decisions. It's a great investment. That's no denying that. You'll always make money. There's no denying that. But we want to also show you the other things you need to be aware of. So I'm glad that you thought it was informative and helpful. And that's what we wanted to do. So guys, I'm just going to close now. If there's any other questions, feel free to just send me other messages. You know, you can contact me on Instagram or on email. And everybody, I'll put my email in here actually, just in case you don't have it. Most of you should. We're also running a tour to Dubai. We've run these before. We've got other agents out who are doing, we've got some doing a tour in February. We're doing one in March. And so if any one of you are interested in coming to that and actually seeing for yourself, it might be worth doing that. And let's put it this way. Let me just quickly show you. It might be worth you investing. Now, this is £2,000, but see it as an investment. This includes your flight, your accommodation, 5-star accommodation. It includes the luxury property tour. We'll pick you up. You're going to be treated like queens and kings that like you are. It includes lunch, and we're going to have a private yacht networking event as well. This is all for you. And it's £2,000. So I want you to look at it like an investment. Actually, let me pay this money. Let me go out there. Let me see it for myself. I've heard what Peter said. I've heard what Michelle said. I've heard what Sam said, but let me see it myself. Let me speak to some of the developers, because we'll be on site as well. Let me see where my money is going. It's for you to sense check for yourself. You can bring your partner and we'll reduce the price. If you bring with your partner, it'll be less money as well. It'll be 1,800 if you come with your partner, 1,800 each. So let us know if you're interested. And also, if you decide to invest with us, you know, you might see a property and think, yeah, Michelle, I love this. How do I do it? Can I pay a lower deposit? Let us know. Let's see what we can negotiate with the developers. And if you decide to invest, you get your full refund, full investment back. Yes, so the £2,000 you paid or the 1,800, we'll give that back to you. So you lose nothing. All right, you lose nothing. So I wanted to share that with you. If anyone is interested, do let me know. Let me know, because I have to book the yachts now. I have to book the hotel and accommodation now, like ASAP. So let me know. And if you decide, oh, actually, now is not a right time for me to invest, can I still come? Yeah, still come. Still come. I want you to see it for yourself. I want you to experience it for yourself. All right. So yeah. And if you're in Dubai at the time, then let me know. It won't be £2,000. All right. It won't be £2,000 at all. So if you're going to be in Dubai at that time, then let me know. So we just want to make sure that you come, you experience it for yourself. It's breathtaking. You're going to be like, oh my days. And we just want to make sure you're making the right investment for you and for your family. So guys, I think that's it. Let me know if you have any further questions. It's been an honor and a privilege. Thank you from me and thank you from Peter. Brilliant. So guys, have an awesome, awesome, awesome evening or afternoon or morning, wherever you are in the world. God bless you all, and we'll speak to you very, very soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. Reach out to me if you're interested in coming on the tour. I've got to book it very soon, guys. Got to book it soon.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.